Sometimes we can have really challenging relationships in the workplace that with a particular individual, their behaviors triggers our own behaviors. And rather than showing up in the way that we want to show up with healthy, influential assertiveness and empathy balanced with each other, with a strong, positive executive presence, we're stooping in our behavior. We might even in our interactions try to address and meet their toxic, abrasive behavior with respect, kindness, a balanced, emotionally intelligent approach. And when they don't shift their approach to meet ours in that space, we suddenly feel the frustration of not making ground, and then we stoop in our behaviors. So our emotional fortitude is the capacity to be in difficult spaces for longer. And yet one of the things that can be really beneficial is learning how to dial up assertiveness. Assertiveness is non-aggressive and non-offensive. So when we're meeting someone else's abrupt behaviors, let's take, for example, someone consistently interrupts you. Our own abrupt, abrasive behaviors is to get bigger, to get louder, so we can become more abrasive ourselves, or we can withdraw and become silent and we completely disengage. And that's also toxic behavior. What doesn't work in those situations is, of course, either of those behaviors. What also doesn't work is just calling them out. Stop interrupting me. That doesn't work very well. What works better is to address the behavior in the form of what you're attempting to do and how their behavior is limiting that capacity, how their behavior is disruptive to the situation, disruptive to the goal. My goal is to be able to communicate clearly so your questions are answered. When you interrupt, I'm not capable of doing that, and then you have more questions. Give me an opportunity to finish speaking, then ask a question, and we're going to get to our goal faster. So by calling people's behavior, making it visible in the space of a dialogue, so you talk about how their behavior loops and interacts with your behavior and what you're trying to do, you can make it visible to them to see, oh, this is what's happening, while you also articulate what you want to have happen. Allow me to finish, then you ask your question, and we're going to move ourselves forward. That type of assertiveness is actually grounded in self-mastery around our emotions, because if we allow someone else's behavior to trigger our emotional state and we end up stooping, we can't communicate assertively. We become aggressive or passive-aggressive. The capacity to do that will always stem from personal competencies of self-mastery, which means building emotional fortitude, staying in the discomfort of your own emotions and resisting the urge to give in to that temptation to stoop.